Good morning and welcome to the Willow Rose Cottage. I am actually doing my intro after the fact. And the reason for that is that I started working on several projects over the weekend, and partway through the first one, I decided, I should start filming this and then have it for you guys to watch if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing. So I didn't have an intro for that. So here's my intro and here are my projects. This is going to be my next project. I think it might be kind of difficult to see in this lighting, but it is a 1920s arts and crafts hall tree that was in my mother's house for as long as I can remember. So I'm going to start this process of just cleaning her up and getting her ready. If you notice down here, the drip plates for the umbrella stand, this is an umbrella stand on both ends, or cane, and the drip plates are missing. I did have one of them. It might be somewhere, I don't know, in all my stuff, but I do know that the second one was always missing from the time my mom had it. So I've ordered tiles, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put little pieces of wood from the underneath, and then I'm just gonna drop the tiles in there so that it'll have something in there until I can find proper drip plates for it. So this was in pretty much perfect shape when I got it. It's been out in my barn since my mother passed about 6 years ago because I just don't have any room for it anywhere. This is what I'm using, Restore and Refinish. So I'm going to go ahead and put the restoration on here, on all of it actually. So as you can see, it has a lot of just dirt on it, probably from being in the garage. And what this product does is it goes in and you can get it in different colors, wood colors, like dark or lighter. This is kind of a medium color because this is kind of the color of the wood that most of my stuff is anyway. So you can completely see the difference of the piece, that area that I just did, and then the area that needs to be done. So I'll go ahead and complete all of this. I've told you before, my mother was an antique dealer, and she curated her house with all the best things she had. And unfortunately, when she passed, I wasn't able to get very many of her beautiful pieces. This is one that I was able to get. And the reason for that is that I live in a very, very small space. Like I said, this one's actually been stored in the barn. So for me, it's kind of tragic now that I'm moving into a larger house and all her belongings are gone. My brother and I made the decision to go ahead and sell them. He kept the proceeds because he was in more need than I was for them. So I'm just very grateful that I did grab this piece. This poor girl has been so neglected. I feel so bad. But there was literally no room in my house for her. There's a few other things that are out in the barn that are smaller, that not furniture, that I'll be bringing in as well, or maybe just straight moving over to the new house and then taking care of them when I get there. I actually forgot to show you when I was putting the wax on this part. So I'll show you down here the difference. This is what I'm using, feed in wax. Let me just squeeze a tiny bit out and I'll show you the difference of how that makes it look. Louie, don't lick the feed in wax bottle, please. That could make you sick. So it's beeswax. And you can see how beautiful it makes the wood. Stop licking it. Well, of course you're gonna sneeze. You're not supposed to be licking that. Stop. You can start seeing places where it's already starting to soak in and will need a second coat. This is how dry this poor girl is. So I'll just keep waxing it. My next two projects are gonna be this little table. It would be a very small, tiny little table. This little footstool, like again, it came out of my mother's house, and it's really, really old. It's been broken several times. You can see where she has glued it over and over and over. I don't know if I'll try to glue it back, but I did keep the piece when it fell off again. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this piece and this piece. So this piece came out of the barn, and I purchased this out of an antique store, and I paid a phenomenal amount of money for it because I wanted it so bad. And when I got it home, it was too big to go on any of my walls. So it went right up to the barn. It's been out there ever since, and I'm gonna say 8 years. So this is gonna need to be completely stripped down, all the way down to the wood, and then I'll probably just oil it or something. I mean, I don't even think it's even worth what I paid for it, but I don't know why I fell in love with it. It was hanging way, way high up on the wall above a doorway, and I made them get it down for me because I loved it so much. So that's on my list. Now I'm kind of having second thoughts because I know I need to take all this off because it's years and years and years of life, and that's got to go. And I have to find a new tapestry to put on it. And because this kind of stuff, pulling off and releasing everything that's underneath there, it gives me the willies. I'm gonna take this outside and work on it. So I think what's actually going on here is that this layer was serving as kind of a base because this doesn't have a pattern on it at all. However, I did peek at it, and I really like this design. So I'm almost thinking I might try to salvage this design and put it back as the main piece. You can see that there were some problems with the nails. They were so old and so rusted that they were fusing to the fabric. So some of the fabric that I want to save might have some holes in it. I don't know, we'll see. That's the fun thing about restoring things. We never know. We never know what we're gonna find. So the needle point is off, and it is really quite beautiful. I might try to wash it and see if I could bring it back to life. I mean, it's in pretty bad shape on the sides of it, on the ends. Maybe not, I don't know. And over here, like I was saying about the the nails fusing in, this nail won't even come out. I can't even get it out. I've been trying, and it is just so stuck to the fabric that it won't even come out. This one, so this is the actual pad, and I think Louis smells something interesting in there, and I'm going to try to salvage it, but man, I don't know, it's pretty old. It's pretty old and torn up. And it was cut on the sides because it was just intended to be the base of it. You can kind of see where the nails put holes in it. This nail I couldn't get out. Gonna have to keep working on that one. And this one I couldn't get out. So I'm gonna keep working on those. See if I can salvage any of this fabric. If not, we find other fabric. Okay, I think I got all the nails out. So now I'm gonna try to pull the fabric off. Ooh, there's another nail. See, it's just stuck in there. I can't get it out. Okay, so it's in the fabric. What's on the other side? Okay, nice piece of wood. So that was at least 90% of my problem from the other chairs is that it did not have a wood bottom. It had a cane bottom. So that is probably the biggest important thing. And it looks like just wool pieces for the padding. I think I could wash these and save them. I'm gonna wash these and save these. I think they can go back in. And here's the fabric. I really like this fabric. What do you guys think? And while we're at it, what do you think of my work table? I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning of summer, I took my work table down because it had suffered a lot of damage during the winter rains. And so I don't really have a work table now. And I was going to get another work table, but then I bought the house and I'm going to build a studio in the house. So at the time we're filming this, I have no work table. So I'm using my garden chair. So moving on. Here is the fabric. I think I'm going to hand wash the fabric and the wool and see if I can just reuse it because I like this. What do you think, Louie? Huh? What do you think? And as for this, I don't know. I'm going to save that for another day. Here we go. So I was able to get all the dirt, or most of the dirt, out of the 4 panels of wool. I washed them all in cold water. I washed them about 4 times to get them clean. But this is what I'm super excited about. This came clean very nicely, and I'm in love with this pattern. So I am definitely gonna work on how to get this back into the stool. So all of these are out drying. So as they dry, I'll work on the stool. I'm gonna start working on this piece. And a friend did call me and she said, you better stop playing around with your furniture and you better start packing. And I was like, I know. I have so much to pack still. And this is just one room. I know. So I was able to get mostly all the glue off of here, at least all the big chunks. Wasn't as successful with this half. You can see there's still a really big chunk of glue on there, but I'm gonna go ahead and fit it into its place and glue it with some wood glue. Wait overnight, clamp it in. I have a little clamp and I'll clamp it in and then we'll see. Actually, I decided to glue this piece in last because that way hopefully it wouldn't have any disturbance. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. I'm gonna clean it off and then I'm going to do the same thing. Put the stain and finish on it and then put the wax on it. And then by tomorrow, hopefully my fabric will be dry and then glue this on and then hopefully my fabric will be dry and I can reupholster it and show you. I have had this little stool forever, since way before my mother passed away. I took it out of her house probably a good 40 years ago, and I just noticed this. I have never noticed this before, probably because I've never had it like all apart like this, but it is broken all the way through. It's not, and that looks like it's kind of a pretty big piece right there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it. I guess I'll just put it somewhere where that leg is in the back. So after cleaning this one up, you can see how damaged it actually is. And there are so many integral parts on this that I have made a decision, given my timeline that my friend just reminded me of, that I think I'm gonna try to go ahead and paint this. Not sure what color yet. I'm kind of leaning towards teal. And then tomorrow I am going to work on packing right after I get this one finished. So this one's almost finished. All I need to do is wax it and then put the footrest part together and pop it in there, and I'm done. So my dilemma is this. I Googled the fabric and I asked, is there anything you can tell me about this fabric? And it was in sync with what I had thought. It is a Victorian-esque time period because it had the tapestry, the needlepoint on it. But then the fabric itself is from the original arts and crafts movement. My arts and crafts house, right? So I said, oh my gosh, like, and I'm doing this through AI. So I'm having a conversation with AI. So I said, I just bought an arts and crafts house. Well, anyway, so AI suggested, since it's an original piece, and when I washed it, there was no bleeding of the ink or the dye or anything like that. AI is a he, I guess, in my mind, said that it's a very high quality piece, very reminiscent of William Morris, and he said another artist, I can't remember, and I don't think it is a William Morris piece. However, because it's an original and came out of an original Victorian piece, AI suggested that I frame it and put it in my arts and crafts house in a frame because it's an original piece of fabric, which is very, very rare to find original arts and crafts printed fabric. So putting it on a broken up footstool might not be the best decision. So now my dilemma is, do I go ahead and just put it on there and finish up my project as if I was always going to? Or do I wrap the project up, put it away somewhere because I don't have time to find fabric? Because in my brilliance, I packed all my fabric and it's in the back of the boxes in the Marie Antoinette room. And so I'm not sure what to do. I'm like sitting here and I'm a little bit not sure what to do. I do like the idea of framing it and putting it in my house. I think that would be kind of amazing. It would be even more amazing if it was an actual William Morris print, but it's not. Bummer. Anyway, stay tuned. And stay whimsical.